Mark Hunt's suing the UFC because of the whole Brock Lesnar thing. The UFC, their defense team, wrote this in their... Let me pull it up real quick. So the chief legal officer for the UFC doesn't want the UFC to show, obviously, how much money Mark Hunt's making, but the reasoning is interesting, what he says here. So, I have personally experienced fighters holding out or refusing to accept contract offers based on the perception that he or she should receive the same deal as another fighter regardless of differences in experience, skill level, fight record, marketability, etc. And then he goes, if this situation were multiplied across hundreds of fighters needed to successfully run UFC's or run Zuffa's business through the public disclosure of individual fighter contracts, the contract negotiation process would be unmanageable. So he's saying that if people find out how much Mark Hunt's making, then there's going to be this freak out of people like going, what the hell, I'm not making this much? Well, so they're trying to keep it under,
Of course, that's with everything. That's how you know it's a monopoly.
This is the second time they did this too. They put this motion in.
Yeah, how crazy that. So if you found out how much certain guys make and under the table and their deals, and because you guys only get what they report to the commission, so like, that's not terrible. No. That's just so everyone shuts their mouth.
That reminded me of you and the Crow Cup thing when you said you found this check by accident.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Hey, but nothing will ever happen until someone fights for the fighters. So the fighters get together and put a stop to it. What else you got?
Alrighty. Well, so this is not an official announcement, but Tony Ferguson said that he's been cleared to return now.
Love it.
This breaks my heart, man. I watched that fight with Brock. I was impressed with Brock, but once he popped hot, I was off the Brock train, man. I was really off the Brock train. I feel bad for Mark Hunt, man. I really feel bad, because what if he doesn't win this lawsuit? And that's a possibility. Why? Hasn't Mark Hunt been fighting since that fight? I don't know, man. Mark Hunt, I think he has a legit case here. He has a legit case. Why? There's proof that this dude tested hot for something, right? But he tested hot for something that is associated with steroids, not the actual steroid, right? And yeah, you could always argue, why would you take such and such if you're not using steroids? True, why would you, right? What if it's a doctor prescription? What if you are sick in a certain way where you need that? You never know. He could always argue something that made sense right there and then. When I mean he, I mean Brock Lesnar. My ultimate concern with this is Mark Hunt's health. If Mark Hunt is really experiencing symptoms of CTE, why is this dude still fighting? Why is the UFC still letting him fight? I know he's a big name in certain markets. I know for a fact he's a big name in certain markets. So obviously he's a cash cow for them in that regard. But it's not healthy. It's not healthy. You can't plead somebody's health and then you put them in a scenario where their health is at risk again. Mark Hunt, he's been putting his health at risk, and I really hope he wins this lawsuit against the UFC. I really hope he wins it. It's no beef against the UFC. It's just somebody got screwed that night, and it was Mark Hunt, man. He had to face a diesel, juiced up Lesnar straight from the WWE. I don't know. It's heartbreaking. It really is. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I am out.
And I peep you, and I lost respect for you when you say you about this culture, this music, because you ain't. The day you feel you can question me, being where you're from, Chevy Chase, Maryland, graduated in 98, you ain't got no word in this city. It's my city. Any of you radio personalities think you want smoke? Call me Mr. Chimney. I want smoke. You know why? Because you don't work hard as me, bro. You're a sidekick in this city. Sidekick in the morning, sidekick on your own show. On Complex, you look like a sidekick. me a check tomorrow, because I made you madder tonight. I'm going to get you some numbers that show it's trash on Complex. You're about the culture, but you bring up that ding-dong chick to interview. Who you think, we stupid? You think I'm stupid?